This episode is brought to you by Vader Joe's Imperial Trading Hut. With the power of the Empire, Vader Joe's brings you the galaxy's finest products at the galaxy's best prices. From Imperial food rations to organic farm-to-planet meals, Vader Joe's Force chokes his competition. You'll find his lack of clone labor disturbing, as all products are made in clone-free facilities by the Empire's finest conscripted labor. Vader Joe's is altering the deal. Pray he doesn't alter it any further. Brought to you by your galactic grocery store, Vader Joe's Imperial Trading Hut.
Hello, Nomads, and welcome to the quick review of the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. And we're going to be talking about Chapter 3. Definitely no title, right, for these?
Yeah, it's just part 3, part 1,
Yeah.
part 2, part 3.
Okay. And I'm also here with my fellow buddies of the show, Eric.
You should have killed me when you had the chance.
Oh, man, that's a good one. And Dave.
I am what you made me. The years have made you weak.
Ooh,
Two good Vader quotes.
Yeah.
Double.
How could you not? Kind of sums up how this episode's, or how this conversation's going to go.
Spoilers.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, listen, right? I mean, we knew.
Everybody knows it.
Yeah,
That's
we
what
know
we've
what's
been
going
waiting
on
for.
here. We're just going to kind of talk through our reactions. I will say, I'm going to be still pretty strict with this one because it's a big deal. It's not a throwaway character. It's not a new character. It is Obi-Wan Kenobi. And if you're going to tell us that Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader are going to meet, it better be good. And I was giving 7s, out of 10 for the first 2 episodes. I was thinking it's good, but there's nothing great here yet, in my opinion. Now, looking at this episode, I'm not going to go and say it's a 10 because Vader shows up. I'm going to say this is an 8. And it was good. It was really good. There's some stuff that's still pretty slow and boring, the first half or whatever. There's some awkward things that happen that I noticed because I watched this twice. But I just want to keep myself in check. And I don't want to just instantly gush.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just how I'm feeling right now. And I don't want to come off negative because I did enjoy it. I watched it twice and I enjoyed it the second time even more. So,
Well, the first half had them.
Yeah, well, Dave, what did you think?
Stuff and Leia stuff. Well, it was good. There was a couple silly things in there, but the second half of it was certainly a bit more intense than the rest of it. But they had some good stuff sprinkled in the beginning. What are you, Eric?
I'm pretty. I definitely like this better than the first 2 episodes.
Oh yeah, how could you not?
I would say I think I gave the first 2 like a 7.5 and 8. I think I'll just bump it up another 0.5 for this one, so 8.5 for me. Yeah, a lot of stuff I liked. A couple, gripes that I had with it. Kind of the same as the first couple, but overall,
I wonder if it's gonna be the same.
Yeah,
So there's one really dumb thing in this episode.
there's a couple things that I'm like,
Oh,
I don't know if
interesting.
it's
What's in
just
it?
bad writing or if there's a reason behind what they're doing. So, but we'll get into it.
Sure.
Yeah.
You wanna, I guess we could go through the story. You want to hit the plot?
Sure.
So in this, I mean, Eric, why don't you do this?
Sure.
You're always good at this.
I'll just do a quick rundown just so we can get into more of our impressions.
Either certain sections of it are better than others, I'd say. So.
Right. Kind of starts out Obi-Wan and Leia on their transport to the planet Mapuzo, where they're supposed to meet up with somebody. They don't know exactly who. This was who, I forgot his name.
But he was like the guy that was fake.
Nanjiani's character.
Yeah, he was faking being a Jedi or whatever.
Yeah, he gave them some coordinates to meet up with his people over on Mapuzo there. And when they get there, nobody's there when they arrive. So they...
Like, on the ship, like, I guess jump before we get too far. Like, the Kenobi's trying to contact Qui-Gon.
He's still trying to reach out to Qui-Gon. Yep.
And he knows that Vader's coming, and I thought that whole scene in there, and then Leia's asking about the Force, which was, a nice little building between the two of them.
I did like...
You get to start to form the bond between them.
I did like
where she's not being a little brat.
So. Right. I did like the beginning scene where you can tell that Obi-Wan knows Vader's coming. Because he even whispers, like, he's coming. But the whole scene with Vader in his little Bacta tank there, and he's putting on all his pieces. And,
see, now that was awesome cool. Too.
Yep.
You see, like
getting ready to get out of a tank. No, not at all. But yeah, that reveal when he finally the helmet lowers down, puts it over his head. I'm like, yeah, now we're getting some Vader action, which is kind of everything that we kind of wanted. And I liked that we got to see Vader's Fortress a little bit more on Mustafar. I know that.
Yeah, man.
We were because. We were first introduced to it like live action in Rogue One, which I actually forgot that happened. It's been so long since I saw that because I was wondering, like, is this the first time we actually seen his fortress in live action? But no, it was back in Rogue One, which I rewatched that scene after I watched this episode, and that scene's still pretty good. I kind of want to. I feel like I didn't give Rogue One a fair chance when I watched it when I first saw it, so I kind of want to revisit it. But
we'll save it because I'd like to revisit it because I it's like the weakest movie to me. I think it's maybe above episode 2, but
I mean that and Solo, I feel like at both of those I didn't give a fair chance to, so I want to definitely going to revisit those in the future. But one thing that I noticed, I think we brought this up before, was Vader's voice. Like it sounded, it was James Earl Jones, but it sounded a lot closer to the original trilogy than it did in Rogue One. Because I mean, everyone was giving him criticism in Rogue One because he sounded old because he recorded new dialogue for that. But apparently,
imagine that somebody got old.
Right, people's voices changed.
How dare he?
But apparently, they use the same technology here as they did with Mark Hamill in like the Book of Boba Fett with his voice. So they use this like re-speecher technology. Cool. So James Earl Jones recorded the lines, but they augmented his voice to sound like he used to. So
shit. I thought it sounded spot on.
Mm-hmm.
Very good work to the team that did that.
Yep. But yeah, continuing the story here, they arrive on Mapuzo. They come across this fucking naked mole rat man, Freck, which is apparently voiced by Zach Braff.
I was gonna say I did not know that. Like, it sounded familiar. It had like a
watching
familiar quality to it.
I never would have known, even though I just started watching Scrubs for the first time.
Yeah.
But the first time I watched it, I didn't make that connection at all. But I was like, oh shit, okay, that's weird. But this is where things kind of start to get tense when the stormtroopers hop on the truck.
Before they run into him.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
There was the hooded person they saw.
It was Anakin. It was a vision of Anakin.
Oh, okay. I was curious to
I paused it and I was
what's going on there.
The first time I watched it, I couldn't I was sitting far away from the TV. I couldn't really tell who it was. But the second time I watched it, I paused it and I'm like, okay, that's definitely Hayden standing there. So I think Obi-Wan was having this vision of Anakin before Vader shows up later in the episode.
Huh.
Well, I'm glad that you brought that up, Dave, because at first I was like, yeah, who is that? But then it's revealed it's Anakin. And then we know that Kenobi's struggling to find a way to talk to Qui-Gon. My theory is that it was a mix of Qui-Gon Jinn and Anakin Skywalker. And he's conflicted because in the beginning he's trying to reach out to Qui-Gon, but his focus isn't on Qui-Gon. He keeps thinking about Anakin because you hear Reva saying Anakin's alive, and he's trying to reach out to Qui-Gon, but he's clouded. He's he can't focus, right? And I think when he was walking, I think that was, I could be wrong, but I think that was Qui-Gon supposed to be there, but it's Anakin. That's not, it's blocking him from seeing what's supposed to be there. I could be completely wrong. And then it makes me wonder, why does he struggle with finding Qui-Gon when Luke can do it in the first movie? He's 20 years old and he's just use the Force. Oh, okay, I can listen to this guy talk. And then the next movie, he's seeing Kenobi, and then he's just chatting with him and then Return of the Jedi.
I don't know
he did the whole cut himself off from the Force thing, and I don't know.
But Luke just discovered it. Luke just discovered it.
Squeezing so.
How's he able to do this stuff?
Because he's like a young buck, It's like getting out into the fields and
power.
looking for the first time.
Luke's valves are open. The Force is flowing through him, and Obi-Wan cut himself off.
But it seems like he's having a tough time because the only time he's used it so far in the first 3 episodes is catching Leia. But I expected him. I'm waiting for him to bust out the mind trick, like on the stormtroopers, on somebody else throughout the show, and he just hasn't used it at all. Even when he's getting I guess when we get to the Freck, sorry, not Frick.
Yeah,
Freck thing.
They had a cool little moment where he's about to get on the back of that truck, and he sees the flag of the Empire.
Mm-hmm.
Like seeing a Nazi flag, or
he hesitated. Well, it was definitely very.
He's just like, "Yo, I know what's up here."
Right.
All right.
It was reminiscent
they made a statement
of because
very. You can relate to it.
Freck was obviously an Empire sympathizer because he's like, nothing wrong with having a little order, So he's trying to.
He's making money,
right? He's like, listen, as long as I'm still making money, he's just doing his job. He's following orders. So, but yeah, this whole scene, I liked this scene on the back of the truck. There was some weird things with it, but overall, I liked the tension.
That was so predictable.
Yeah.
Gee, they picked up stormtroopers. Oh, gee, they're gonna interrogate them. Oh, gee, they slipped during their. Jesus Christ, he looks just like Obi-Wan Kenobi. You are looking for Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Do they know what he looks like?
Come on, it's
They're
a digital. They
Jedi.
just send a hologram to the
part.
team.
Yeah,
give me a break. It's Vader's number one. That's one thing I can't stop thinking about. Give this guy give him a sweet mustache like dude from
from
movie.
Oh my god! Yeah, right.
Rama.
Listen,
Rama.
Doesn't matter because he ends up murdering them all anyways. So
I like the
when
little
they actually
part
find
they
out who it
had,
is.
where she's asking if he's her dad, and
Leia and Obi-Wan
that was
had
touching.
a nice moment here.
that's good. When he's talking about how the planet used to be super nice, then the Empire came in and just strip mined the entire planet and just ruined everything. Putting everything in focus. I say world building, but we already know the world. So,
and it's the first glimpse of any kind of recognition from Obi-Wan that he had a family. Back in
that
his
was
past,
cool.
Because
he had a little brother.
Yeah, he's trying to remember his family. Who's
got to be a Force user.
Flashes. Yeah.
He's got to be a Force user. He's
are they setting the stones for that?
I think so.
There was another Kenobi.
There's a Owen Kenobi, apparently. I was looking this up, and I guess it's kind of canon, or was at some point back in the day. He had a brother called Owen Kenobi. So, I don't know, it was interesting. Yeah, it's weird. But I don't think they're going to do that here. But if he has a brother, there's already a second season coming, right? That's the rumor.
Mm-hmm.
So,
really?
He's probably going to be...
Second season of Kenobi would be... All right, I'm on board.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought this was just going to be a limited series, one and done.
Well, that's what I was seeing on the Twitterverse there. But
interesting. Okay. Well, after all that, the probe droid comes up and recognizes Obi-Wan, and he just whips out his blaster pistol and starts shooting. Oh,
that's because of Reva. She's making some smart moves.
Because she sent out. We skipped over this.
She knew, but she's like, "Yo, I know." Oh yeah, she's talking to Vader.
We skipped over that, and we skipped over when we saw the Fortress Inquisitorius.
Yeah, it was dope looking.
When she goes, which also, if you remember, we saw that in Jedi Fallen Order. That's the final stage where Cal Kestis goes. It's the underwater Inquisitor Fortress. So we get to see that.
I want to play the game.
Yeah, we get to see that in live action here. And I don't know if you noticed this either in that briefing room that they were in. There was they had a collection of lightsabers from all the Jedi that they killed.
Oh,
around the room.
I did
not see that.
I saw the fish on the outside.
That was that was pretty cool. It's some BioShock stuff. Yeah, I'm a sucker for underwater stuff, but that was cool seeing that. And that whole scene, because you can tell, Fifth Brother and Reva are kind of vying both for the position of Grand Inquisitor. Darth Vader tells Reva in the beginning that she can lead the hunt to find Obi-Wan. Then Fifth Brother's like, no, I'm next in line. So there's
I love it.
Definitely some tension
I love that
between
stuff.
those two.
That's always been there since New Hope. where they're just constantly bickering amongst each other. Like, you guys can't even get along yourselves. You guys all suck. You know, they're just like the officers are yelling at Vader and officers yelling at each other. You know, like they're always at each other's throats, and just like in general,
everywhere.
Yeah, the Padawan's supposed to kill the master or something like that kind of rule. So you just can't trust anybody. They're all paranoid and they're all assholes, and it's just nice to see on this level. Even the Inquisitors, they're just don't count.
Right.
How could you get anything done? You're like trying to kill each other, or literally are trying to kill each other.
Right. Going back to the scene where Obi-Wan shoots up those stormtroopers, I thought it was pretty bold of them to like cut that stormtrooper in half when he fell on the gate. Like I thought that was awesome.
A rule. I thought Disney and like George Lucas
That's
had
what
an
I thought
understanding
too.
that you never
can't dismember. Yeah, you can't dismember humans, right?
Oh, really? I didn't know that was a rule.
Because that's why
he's always cutting off. Well, they're cutting off arms and shit.
Not
right, but
not
in
of
half?
stormtroopers. Like
True.
in Jedi Fallen
Yeah.
Order, you can't cut off like limbs or cut stormtroopers in half.
Just make like burn
Right.
marks on people, really.
Yeah, so it's like a whatever, Disney-fying it. Like you can't show violence, but I'm surprised that they allowed that, them to show that. I was like, holy shit.
Get a Tarantino Star Wars series.
Yeah,
Let's
make
see
it
what-
dark and gritty.
Let's see what the dirty Star Wars is.
It better be Han Solo, Chewbacca, and just that's what I would like to see.
Like in their dark days.
They're just
They
like, where's the
they're
Millennium
going on
Falcon? What? We got to get it
Spice
back.
runs.
Mhm.
They're going banging Twi'leks. They're all over the galaxy.
They're all doing drugs, yeah, right?
After that confrontation,
Yes,
they
please.
meet Tala, which is the person that they were supposed to meet up with. Who she's dressed as an Imperial officer, and
Yep.
she kind of backstabs her stormtroopers there.
Yeah, we've seen this before. This is
Right.
it's tropey. There's a lot of tropes. That's what brings this is why I can't just give this like a 10. Because it's stuff
Yeah.
like this is just like, I've seen it before. It's very predictable. It's safe storytelling, I think.
It is
You know?
very safe, definitely.
But that's where I thought he would have used the mind trick. I was just waiting for it to get busted out. But and this, what is her name?
Tala.
Tala.
Mhm.
I knew she looked familiar, but
Game of
she was
Thrones.
Game of Thrones, yeah, absolutely. So
Who was she in Game of Thrones?
Like the mother of
She
the
was
sand
one of,
snakes or something like that.
yeah, somewhere
Oh.
in there.
I didn't recognize her. But okay, well that's cool. So yeah, she's the one tasked with helping smuggle out Obi-Wan and Leia and get them off the planet. And around here is when one of my favorite scenes of the episode comes in, is when they're kind of hiding in that back room and Vader is just walking down the road and
Hold on a
it's
second.
clear. Whoa,
Hold on a second. I gotta bring up something because this is weird because I only noticed the second time I watched it.
go ahead.
But it's literally daylight. They go into the back room.
No, who knows how long they're in there?
Well, they were in there for.
What? I watched it twice, and there literally is no. It's literally she turns around, she gets changed.
Listen, this is
and then-
space. There's no saying that their
like a moon flew
time
in front of it,
schedule
but I'm just
is
saying,
the same as
there's-
Earth's. It could have been.
Yeah. But I was
I
just
don't
saying that, like,
They went to that back room and they're like looking at the walls and they're talking about how it's like a rebel hideout, blah blah blah, and then they end up running back to the front.
all right, maybe I'm wrong, but either way, it's just like it's incredible that like in 2 minutes
Yeah,
they go in that
I
room
do
and next
that.
thing you know it's pitch black.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, I another thing I wanted to bring up. I know you guys haven't watched Clone Wars yet, but Obi-Wan makes a mention of Quinlan, which that is Quinlan Voss, and he's like another Jedi that they introduced in the Clone Wars.
Mhm.
He's a pretty cool
Very cool.
character, but it's cool that there's that connection there, and saying
Yeah,
that
like
he's
that.
like helping smuggle out younglings and stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I would love if we got to see him.
You
in the
probably
series.
are if they're gonna do that at this rate.
If
come on.
why would they mention him other than like
I'm
oh
waiting
shit,
for the
I
kid
recognize
from-
that name,
Fallen Order to make an appearance.
Cal.
I'm just guessing. Yeah, Cal's gonna be in this.
Mhm.
I don't know.
But yeah, back to the Vader scene walking down the street. You can tell that, they kind of sense each other. Obi-Wan senses Vader, and then Vader kind of stops in his tracks, and that's when he starts like killing these people, trying to draw Obi-Wan out. He's just dragging
so like
people
he
through
pulls
the
a
streets.
dad out, and he's like force choking this dad. The son comes out, he slams against the wall, and he just snaps his neck.
Yeah, Vader's brutal here.
I was like,
not-
whoa,
I
not
loved
fucking
it.
kill the
around.
kid.
No, because he's like, yeah, he really knew Obi-Wan was hiding,
And he grabs that woman and drags her.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
drags her through the
dude,
street.
this is like
Vader
evil
is
Vader.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
is he like this in the comics?
Yes.
Like, does he do stuff like
he's
this?
ruthless, man. And this is this is obviously after the comics, so he's even more powerful here. I would say he's probably like peak powerful Vader, like in this time period.
We've never seen him
like,
with live footage doing this as civilians,
right?
Though. It's always been soldiers.
No, he's
users.
ruthless, man. He'll do anything he needs to get the job done. So, I mean, that kind of works for Obi-Wan to draw him out. And then this whole cat and mouse thing with Vader and Obi-Wan, and after they get to like this quarry or whatever, is kind of weird and like weirdly paced a little bit. I don't know how you guys felt about this.
Yeah, Obi-Wan fights Vader.
He just runs away
really
like
cool,
3 times.
But yeah, he
just like
runs away
turns his
3 times,
lightsaber off and he just like turns left and he's like,
he doesn't
bye.
turn his lightsaber off the 3rd time though, and it's just like it's very slow paced. And I'm wondering if they have to do this to get the general public to keep along what's going on.
I think they were trying to build up the tension. They didn't want Obi-Wan and Vader to just clash lightsabers right away. They wanted to build up the tension a little bit and have this like, stalker situation, which...
Well, he's an old man who can't even use the Force anymore, and he hasn't turned on a lightsaber in a decade.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's just scrapping just to even survive. Like once, he runs away the first time, and then after they actually start having a lightsaber fight, he's just getting his ass kicked, just trying not to get dismembered.
I did like this scene, like when they actually start to clash lightsabers. Like you can tell how powerful Vader is, like compared to Obi-Wan. Vader was just using one hand, just fucking smacking.
The other one he's like playing like BioShock, where like one hand has like a weapon, the other one has like your Force ability.
Yep.
Yeah.
So like Obi-Wan was clearly no match for Vader here.
And I think he knows this.
Were sweet. Like once, because it's night out in the middle of nowhere, some refinery or whatever, quarry.
Yeah,
but
quarry, yeah.
The 2 lightsabers, and this is the first time technically you're seeing Vader. Well, I guess you see him in Rogue One, but this is before. But him unveiling his red lightsaber.
Yes, that shot where he's like just holding it out and he turns it on, like that gave me like some chills. The first time he ignites his lightsaber.
Because Obi's looking around, and he's going to pop out from somewhere. You don't know if he's just going to attack, but he's just like, nope, here I am, motherfucker, ready to go.
Yep.
So I think they kind of slowed it down. Like what I guess it is 10 years after, but he was kind of toying with Obi the whole time.
Oh yeah.
He had that slow plotting lightsaber style that he has in A New Hope, basically, where A New Hope and after that are all like that's kind of more regular, and then the prequels are like such an excess of like flippy doodahs and jazz hands while they're lightsaber fighting. This one I think is kind of like the bridge to like bring everything together. People don't fight like that no more.
No. And Vader's definitely toying with him because like he could have easily just if he really wanted to, he could have just like force choked him and snapped his neck like he did those other people in the village. So he wants to. I mean, we see this later when he spills the fucking whatever mineral it is and ignites it with his lightsaber, and then he picks up Obi-Wan with the Force, and he wants to make him suffer, for what he did to him, and like he just has this hate for him in his heart. Yeah,
this is cool. I like this. I was like, damn. What?
Yeah, I mean,
did they just like make a fire, and is he really dragging Obi-Wan Kenobi through this fire?
Yeah, they did
pretty
like
violent.
They did like a parallel scene to when like Anakin was crawling up on Mustafar and he was burning alive. It was like the same.
You could tell
sort of
Vader
angle and
thought
shot
about this.
Yeah, exactly.
In his tank, just thinking about this nonstop. It was like, when I find him, I'm gonna make him suffer.
Mm-hmm.
He's just so angry, and it's great. It's really good. Like there are some really good shots, and they had to be good. I mean, you're bringing Vader and Kenobi, you're actually showing like more between 3 and 4 episodes 3 and 4. So it's just you can't fuck this up.
So
and I don't think,
but they did.
I don't think they did.
At the
ending
end.
of
At
it.
the
The
end.
ending of it.
Yeah,
sucks.
I'll say there are some things like you can't walk through smoke or steam.
Listen,
guy, just
Well,
duck or
he,
force.
He puts it. Vader puts out the fire
Yes.
with the Force.
Yes.
And then sends a stormtrooper after her. And then Chicky Doodah, what her name
Tala,
is.
she comes in.
Tala, she shoots the one, and nobody shoots back at her. And Vader just like looks up at her. She shoots the fire and restarts it. And then the robot just comes out, picks him up, and walks away. And
Yeah,
like, Vader could.
I mean,
he could easily just pick both of them up and bring.
it
them
was
to
like
him.
I mean, technically it was
silly.
a bigger fire, but like he could have easily force blasted that fire away, or literally like jumped over it, or used the Force to pick up Obi-Wan and bring it. Like,
yeah, exactly.
it felt like I don't know if it was bad writing or if Vader intentionally let him go.
But if he's looking for him for this long, he's not just going to let him go when he's just getting his jollies off, burning him in the fire.
I didn't understand that last scene. It was
that's the way that it ended. Like, kind of put a little sour taste on it. But
I was hoping that like Obi-Wan would get captured and then like Vader would bring him back to his fortress or something, and Obi-Wan would have to find a way to escape or something like that.
That would have been badass.
But obviously they have to
Well,
continue
we'll
the story with Leia, because
Leia's one of those.
that was like the stinger at the end when Reva meets up with Leia.
stinger that this is where the story's gonna go.
Right.
Here we go.
Because now Obi-Wan has
just
to
like
rescue Leia.
Mandalorian. Baby Yoda was kidnapped, and it was just like another rescue mission.
So how does she? So Leia's running down a tunnel. She's all the way down there. How does the sniper chick get back? Not go past
It's
Reva.
dumb.
And how does
It's
Reva get in front of
writing.
Leia without passing her in the hallway?
I don't know. I don't get any of this.
She must have found another way.
Why was it
above ground or something dumb like that? They
Fu-
don't.
the fu-
there's
it's
other
like
tubes
daytime,
down there.
nighttime in literally 2 minutes. And if there is if there's like 5 hours that going by, the editing
Yeah.
didn't show it to me. But we spent how much time on that truck or them walking around in the there are some things that I think
Like you said,
It's
Brad,
weird.
I think it is an issue with the editing because they show Reva at the beginning of the tunnel, and then 2 seconds later she's all the way around the back, and she already killed the pilot, and she's in front of Leia. So
How does she know where the tunnel goes?
right, we just have
How
to
does
believe
she
that
know
somehow
where
she found another way and cut off Leia at the end. I don't know. It's just weird. So there was a lot of stuff I liked in this episode, but there was also just some weird decisions. Mainly the ending of the Obi-Wan and Vader fight, how he just let him go. That was my biggest gripe with this episode.
Who knows? They might bring it in. I think this episode was so good because it was pretty much all Kenobi.
Yep, all Kenobi, and we got to see
He was
Vader.
in all the scenes. Yeah. Just having more Ewan McGregor as Kenobi and seeing his struggles and how he's dealing with the Force and waiting for Qui-Gon to come out and give him that one word of wisdom. You can do it. And then all of a sudden his Force powers all come back. And he starts... Because at some point he's going to whip some ass.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Like him and Reva are going to go head to head and he's going to have to either kill her or dismember her somehow or whatever.
I'm calling it. We're getting a training montage in the next episode because he's going to need to train himself up to go fight Reva to rescue Leia. Because in his current state, he can't take on Reva, So he's going to have to do something to either turn his Force powers back on or make himself more powerful.
Okay, so is it going to be like the formula we've seen the last couple shows, which is the Mandalorian and Boba Fett? A couple episodes in, you get your friends, and then the next couple episodes is recruiting them, and then the last couple episodes is everybody fighting the bad guy. Is it going to be that? Because that's what they've done for the last two episodes.
Yeah. It seems
it's
like
I
that's where
recruit
it's
my
going.
party.
Well, there's only 3 left, so you don't got a lot of runway.
Yeah,
there.
we're already halfway
He's gonna have-
through the series.
He's going to get the dude that was faking being like a Jedi.
Yeah.
He's going to get
Pilot chick, the sniper chick that was helping.
that droid probably.
Ned B.
And then maybe
He's got the hammer.
Mm-hmm.
some other character that we haven't been introduced to. It's going to help, I think.
You want to see that
Force
liquid
Ghost
droid
Qui-Gon.
Smash that. Yeah. Smash that hammer into some stormtroopers. That droid's going to go nuts at some point.
Well, listen, they made it a point in the recap in part 1 to say the part in episode 3 where Yoda's he'll communicate with Qui-Gon and he'll basically train you. So I think we're going to get that scene. Like Qui-Gon training Obi-Wan as a Force ghost, like making him more powerful somehow. We're definitely going to get something like that. Because he's got to get a power boost somewhere
Force
in here.
Ghost montage, huh?
Yeah.
I think you're right. And also, don't forget Uncle Owen. I think he's going to go back. The actor's too good to be just sitting for one episode. He's going to go back and recruit him too.
I think in the finale we're going to see Obi-Wan return to Tatooine and like whatever, do his thing.
Because he's got to give Luke that toy back,
Mhm.
or else how does he get it in A New Hope?
Right.
You can't leave any paradoxes.
Yep. Exactly.
Dun dun dun.
All right.
Good episode though.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
we're
good.
on-
Overall.
it's looking good.
I don't want to harp too much on the stuff that we had problems with. Like overall, I really enjoyed it.
Because there's 3 left, and there, we still got more Vader to come.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with being
gonna have more
critical.
lightsaber fights. There's gonna be all sorts of cool shit.
This is a big deal. This
Hell
is
yeah.
Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi meeting.
Literally,
between episodes
like
3
two
and
of the
episode
most
4. It's a big
important
deal.
characters in Star Wars.
Absolutely, so it's a big deal. I mean, John Williams signed up to do the music for it, so he's he cared as well.
It's a big deal.
I'm right.
All right, well, let's wrap it up. That was cool. I'm definitely looking forward to the next episode. I have no idea where it's going to go, which is good, right? Keep me guessing.
Yep, definitely. I guess I'll do our little sign off here. You can follow us on social at Nomads of Fantasy, Instagram and Twitter. Go to the nomadsoffantasy.com for all your nomad needs. And with that, safe travels, nomads, and may the force be with you.
Force be with you.